All right, I know everyone's been waiting for this moment all weekend. Of course, this is going to be the World Finals for World of Warcraft Arena. These two teams have fought their way up through the round-robin brackets, all the way through this double elimination tournament. We've seen amazing play by both teams. They are fighting for that $105,000 first prize, the largest first prize in World of Warcraft history.
It's an insane amount of money just for coming to Shanghai, getting a free trip out here, and then getting to play some video games, man. Both these teams have to be feeling great. Bring It probably feeling a little bit better because they have beat Yaspresents 2 times so far. I believe when they fought in round robin, it was 2-1, and when they met in the finals, it was a 3-0 in favor of Bring It.
So that means that they have a lot to prove in this match, of course. We always talk about this story every single time it comes down to this moment. Of course, the team of Bring It, that one shaman on the team, that face we've been seeing since he was a young child at MLG at his first tournament. He is going to be giving his 3rd shot at first place in a World Finals match. But in this situation, they are coming in as the victor, which means we're playing best of 5, and so if Yaspresents can take this first best of 5, that means that Bring It has the second chance at it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Bring It is gonna take this. I wouldn't be surprised if we have Yaspresents come out on top. But to have to win 6 games against them when you're currently 6-1. Look at them right there. They're so handsome. Venruki, Snutz, and Kollektiv. Team Bring It. That was a picture of them you saw on the screen with a little bio. They're an all-star lineup, man.
Oh, they really are, and I'm so glad to see that Snutz is getting another shot at it. Of course, they do have to take down Yaspresents, which has been running another on Frost Mage up until this point, and now he's switching into DK, that split pressure. Of course, they did run that against the team LGIM, who came so close, getting 3rd place, the team from Korea, with, of course, a Duke and sticking to his guns, playing that Destro lock. So I am so excited to get into this match because, of course, even though $105,000 is so much money for first place, second place gets $45,000, and you look at the gap between that gap is bigger than most WoW final prize pools ever.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. Both teams trying their hardest. You can hear them backstage like, what do you want to do if they do this? I don't know, man, we should do this maybe. They're just going all out, trying to prepare everything. They've practiced so many hours, so many months, so many games for this moment right here. Who will come out on top? Will it be Bring It? Will it be Yaspresents? We're going to have to find out. MLS, Mage Lock Shaman versus what I believe is going to be a TSG Knight Warrior Shaman Healer as opposed to Paladin. I think it's their best shot. I think if they run Warrior Mage Shaman, they're just going to lose again.
I think what would have happened is if LGIM took any rounds off of them, I think that they would be hesitant to run this comp, because if Bring It can take even the first round off them, that's really going to shake them. And Yaspresents really needs to stick to their guns if they really want to run this Warrior Death Knight. They've been doing a great job of splitting, but they haven't had to split against an amazing healer like Kollektiv, and if there's any healer in the world as a shaman that can handle this split pressure on the World Final stage, I would put my money on Kollektiv being able to do it.
Good old Kollektiv, man, he never lets his team die. I think in the many games they've played, I asked him just now, he said he's let 3 deaths go through. 3. He's in the grand finals. That's a very low number. Some people have 3 deaths in a single arena game.
Absolutely. And of course, now once these teams are ready, we're going to get them queued in. Right behind me, you can see the team of Bring It, Venruki's face, peeking over that monitor right now. I know these guys are excited. I don't even think they're worried about this match. I think that they are so confident coming into this that they know they can ride that wave of just being on their game nonstop. However, Yaspresents, if there's anyone in this tournament that can take it away from them after watching that last game, it would be Yaspresents.
Dude, they're prepared. They just fought in MLS. They're going into this knowing exactly what they have to do. they're definitely gonna have their work cut out for them. Look at how serious everybody looks, man.
Oh, of course
this
they
is for
are.
all the money. I'd be serious too.
Every single round matters, and of course, as we get into this arena, the Grand Arena, we always start at. We're taking a look at the teams, of course. Bring It versus Yaspresents. We have Bring It running that Mage lock Shaman in the preparation area right now. Of course, no changes to their specs. They're going to stick with their guns. Shield on Snutz to start right now. You guys will see this in just a second once we get into the match. Of course, Venruki playing that Frost Mage. Interesting choice on the armor right now. He wants that little bit of extra and the reduction. The big thing is the reduction in damage from the melee. He knows that they're going to be playing against this comp because he saw how well they played against Team LG. So he's going to be using that Molten Armor instead of the Mage Armor, which would provide a lot more damage, but a reduction in the duration of magic debuffs. So Yaspresents another sticking to his guns again, playing that unholy DK. As great out of the gate, of course we are going to follow Snutz, see if he can make it happen for his teams as he gets right out there, getting that aura up quickly. Tosses his pet over onto the enemy. Warlock, it looks like he's definitely going to be sticking on him right now. No Mortal Strike debuffs out quite yet from the pet. There it goes. Now it's going to be on Zunniyaki, as Snutz is going to have some pressure very quickly from the Warrior, as another is choosing to go on Venruki, but he's constantly being rooted. Venruki taking a lot of damage right now in a single Strangulate onto Kollektiv.
Yeah, this is already a pretty good start for another Zunniyaki and Câra, but another taking a lot of damage, mainly from Snutz. Venruki not doing too much. There's the palm and the alter time. He pops back, throws down a sheep and a ring, both instant thanks to that alter time. Another has to sack his pet, get a lot more health back, but he's still in a little bit of trouble because Venruki has used his on-use trinket as well as Icy Veins. Another going to be taking so much damage right here. Snutz taking a little bit from that Warrior. Intim Shout goes out, but it doesn't do much.
Oh, another taking a lot of damage right now, taking so much damage. That Frostbomb did detonate, forcing Zunniyaki, but we see a Fear and a Hex onto Zunniyaki, so it's going to be kind of short. Another with another Frostbomb. The Chaos Waves are coming down. 1-0. Bring It.
Bring It. They brought it. One game already down.
And you can look at the cooldowns used by another to try to stay alive. The AMS ticking down right there. Everything. The desecrated ground. Look at that.
Look at that smile. Look at Snutz.
Boy.
They're so happy, man. That's one game down out of 3 that they need. They're 1/3 of the way there to $105,000.
Look at that. Oh, they are confident. They are confident. Of course, you see the damage. We saw Venruki hit that on-use trinket, turn bright red as he tossed the ring down also. It was barely, it was amazing to see the timing from Venruki. The second AMS was going to fade, that Frostbomb that he was casting would have clipped at the very, very second that it was gone. He did get interrupted, but he was able to cast another one immediately after. And then with that damage from Snutz and the Chaos Wave, and I think this is how they're going to have to play every single round.
You know,
of course.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, the next round, however, with Yaspresents banning Blade's Edge and Bring It, knowing that they're going to ban Blade's Edge, I guarantee they chose Ruins on purpose because Snutz has that Carrion Swarm. He's going to be able to knock the melee off. Because if you knock the Warrior off, he might, jump back really quickly with Heroic Leap onto the stairs and charge back up. You knock a Death Knight off, he's in trouble. Yeah. He'll be able to grip people down if they're a little bit out of position, but other than that, he's going to lose a lot of damage.
Well, not only that, if they knock him off and the healer's on the opposite side of the map, on that platform, he won't be able to heal the Death Knight, because he'll be down below, out of line of sight. That's going to force a defensive cooldown alone right there for sure. As soon as that Frostbomb goes out, you're at half health. If Snutz manages to get a few Chaos Waves, maybe Venruki pops a Frostfire Bolt at the same time, because when the Frostbomb expires, that's what happens. Another might just die. I wanted to say about Venruki, I really loved his play at the start. He did a Presence of Mind into a sheep, but he also altered timed while he had Presence of Mind up. So that allowed him to get a sheep onto Zunniyaki, then he threw down a Ring of Frost, and he just set up from there. It was perfect play. That's what you see from what looks like could very well be our world champions right here. We're going to have to see better play out of another Zunniyaki and Câra. They're trying their hardest, but they need to think of a different strategy or something.
It's rough because that Aura of Enfeeblement is also going to reduce physical damage by 20%. Of course, the the damage from the Death Knight, most of it is going to be that disease damage, the magic damage, the shadow damage, which isn't going to be negated as much, but a large portion of it is physical.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, it's sort of like Affliction Warlock damage. It's a lot of damage, but
It's just
only,
over time,
Yeah, but only the single target really matters. And you got to focus on that. You need to do the burst pressure. That's why Affliction Warlocks aren't doing too well right now as opposed to Demo. Affliction may do more damage, but it's not as much single target. Maybe we'll see another bring out the Frost Death Knight for that insane burst pressure, but then, you know, it really slows down. I believe it's almost a 100% increase in damage when you have everything proc.
Absolutely, and it's the big thing to note is if you watch the cooldowns of another and you just watch him cycle through over and over because he's just taking so much damage from both of these casters. Once that AMS falls, he is in so much trouble.
Oh, yeah. I know he also really dislikes playing Frosto. I spoke to him a little bit.
He absolutely does.
I asked for some tips because, you know, I play a level 90 Death Knight, nowhere near as good. And I said, so why do you play Unholy as opposed to Frost? And he said, Frost, it does a lot of damage at the start, but then it just doesn't do much at all. And they're going to need to do the consistent pressure because Snutz has cooldowns, Kollektiv has cooldowns, and Venruki has cooldowns.
Yeah, I didn't see anything forced out of the team of Bring It, which is why this forward momentum, especially coming off of knowing that they have to lose 2 best-of-5s to be knocked out to second place. Bring It looking good, riding that first victory. It's going to bring their confidence up. Another Zunniyaki and Câra really have to bounce back. Not sure if we're going to see a swap yet. I'm going to actually peek the classes that are online, and nope. They're going to stick to their guns. Another still on that Death Knight.
Well, sometimes that's what you got to do is just play a little bit better. I'm not saying they played bad, but a lot of people just believe if I did this right, I would have won. Look at how nervous they look, man. I feel bad for Yaspresents.
Look at the difference. Look at the difference in the faces. Of course, you know, coming off a win, you're always going to be happy, but if it was close, they would be really worried about it. Yeah. But it looks like the team of Snutz, Kollektiv, and Venruki, these 3 players have played on so many different teams over the years. They've found each other eventually, and you know, qualifying together for the North American regionals, managing to earn their way into China, showing up here and just dominating that round robin tournament.
Everybody lost to them in the round robin. 9-0. It's just outstanding play by them. I'm so excited to see them here. They look so happy. They're so prepared, man. Even they didn't force that many cooldowns at all from this team. Any defensive cooldowns onto the MLS, the Mage Log Shaman. Snutz popped everything at the end there just to be like, yeah, I'm in it. I'm going to win it, guys. Meanwhile, special thanks to Razor. Thank you so much for sponsoring this. Check them out, razoracademy.com. We're going to get this game started very shortly here, guys.
Looks like, again, we're going to follow Snutz out of the gate because if there's anyone that wants this, it's him. Of course, his teammates definitely are there to help him out, but he has a lot to prove. But we're going to see if the team of Yaspresents is going to be able to do anything from the start. Let's see. Right from the start, Snutz is going to try to get into demon form as fast as he can to get there it goes, or it gets tossed up immediately. So he's going to have that reduction as we see a Fell Flame knocking down that grounding. But look at the damage onto Kollektiv. So from the start, already having to Spirit Link, using just about everything. Look at the damage on to Snutz from that Spirit Link. Kollektiv not able to pick himself up. Wow, that necrotic strike was so high, so fast. Câra down to half right now. He did have all of his cooldowns pop with that avatar, that skull banner, that recklessness, that massive amount of damage. But look at the damage onto Câra and another Zunniyaki having to sit through that entire fear because his tremor was down.
Another's in a lot of trouble though, man. The Chaos Waves are landing onto him. He goes down to 180,000 HP. Wow, they zoned that really well. Câra at the end of his cooldowns just had a line of sight. He was unable to be topped. Zunniyaki was in a pet stun right there. He's out of it now. Gonna try and top up another for sure. Earthshield is onto another. That's the main target they want to hit. As soon as AMS is down, he's just gonna flop. AMS is coming back up in 1 second.
Here it comes. All right, so you see Ascendance used by both. Healing Shamans right there is a big heal onto another. Câra not completely healed. There we go. Now we see some big heals coming out from Zunniyaki as the team of Bring It starting to play more control right now. Zunniyaki having to tremor again, not having to use his trinket though, which is good because he's going to need that in a little bit.
Yeah, Venruki, he's really leading the damage charge here whenever he decides to use a Frost Bomb out on a deep target. And this is it, a Frost Bomb onto Câra. They're popping everything right here. Shield Ball has to be used at 130,000 HP now. Kollektiv still taking a lot of damage. He does have his run while casting popped.
Yeah, there was the gnaw from the pet. That was great. The Soul Reaper, though, wow, got healed up right before that Soul Reaper exploded. Câra having the taste for blood up. Another also getting kind of low. Snutz with everything up, having to trinket, using all those defensive cooldown. He has that unending resolve up right now as the pet is killed, it looks like. Nope, and that was a totem as Câra still has the taste for blood up right now, but no cooldowns to match that damage for him. He's used just about everything. Another, and Câra just riding out, trying to survive till the next set of cooldowns. Zunniyaki gets feared away. No tremor, no trinket. Câra taking a lot of damage. Blanket spell lock on top of it. Câra might live through this.
Into a hex. Will Câra actually fall here? It looks like he might. Big pressure going out onto him. He doesn't have very many defensive cooldowns remaining. His die by the sword is coming up in 3 seconds, as well as his trinket. That was not looking too good for him. Thankfully, they did manage to survive. And now a Ring of Frost going down around their pillar right here. They don't want any melee touching him.
Wow.
And Venruki's water elemental does go down.
So another's cooldowns are coming back up. He's used IBF, so he's going to wait on that. If he gets stunned, Snutz' pet taking a lot of damage. Wasn't healed up after that sacrificial pact, though. Here comes the Chaos Waves onto another 2 gigantic Chaos Waves landing. Zunniyaki having to trinket that. The NS goes up. The heal almost didn't even register because of the amount of damage that another's taking. Venruki forced to block, however. Both Snutz Kollektiv and Venruki, a lot of damage right now. Kollektiv really needs to pick it up.
I love the way how Venruki's throwing this ring around on the boxes that prevents them from chasing back there. Snutz taking so much damage, though. He's going to have to use his Dark Regen, probably his Hellstone as well. There's a Blanket Silence onto Zunniyaki. The Dark Soul comes back from cooldown on Snutz in 26 seconds. That's when they're going to go for the kill. That was a die by the sword right there. This is very good for our Mage Lock Shaman.
Spell Reflect goes up and is down again as there we go. Now he has his 2-hander backup. Avatar comes back up with Deadly Calm. Let's see if he can put out enough damage. Looks like Venruki is definitely going to be their target as he is going to kite back, and I really like this play by both Snutz Kollektiv and Venruki, constantly pulling back to those boxes if they need.
Yeah, Snutz pet looks like it may go down pretty soon here, but he has used his Sacrificial Pact as well. Venruki at 250,000 HP right here. Snutz cooldowns now available. He will want to pop them soon as they can get any kind of CC onto Zunniyaki, who's just playing at range, trying to stay away with that grounding totem drop constantly. Zunniyaki at 50,000 mana versus Kollektiv's 90. Zunniyaki doing a little bit worse. A big grip from Snutz away from his port.
Oh, there goes the second grip. It's great behind the boxes right there, out of line of sight of his healer. However, Snutz using his leap to get over in port range and ports behind. That stopped a lot of that push by Yaspresents. All right, so it looks like they are going to go on the Water Elemental, who's definitely going to fall right there. Now, Venruki, there we go. He has his cooldown up, so he's going to be able to re-summon it immediately, taking a lot of damage. The Frost Bomb went out and doesn't look like it landed on anyone. As I do believe that is a banner out from Câra, not the Skull Banner though, as he is going to try to do as much damage as he can, because Venruki barely living over and over, but it's great that he's pulling way back. There goes that AMS, and it is down onto another, so he's going to be a great target in just a minute.
Kollektiv able to drink so much right there. He's at 180,000 mana. We need to see Snutz pop his Demon Soul, or Dark Soul rather, just burst. Another popping his unused trinket. It has expired now. He was going for the burst there. Venruki in a little bit of trouble at 230,000 HP. Kollektiv needs to get some heals on him. Top him back off. A Frost Bomb onto another at 200,000 HP. It's going to explode. Not too much. Snutz has used his Unending Resolve. He's in a little bit of trouble. Venruki low, but here comes a one-shot from Snutz onto another 130,000 HP. He does manage to live through it. This is now just going to be all up to Venruki's damage. Snutz spamming those Touch of Chaos inside a Demon Form. Lichborn heals coming out for another. He's also used his AMS. Carapiothe, he's the one in trouble.
Oh, with the Hex onto Zunniyaki right now, having to trinket that, getting out of it. Wow, and barely Câra gets back behind the boxes. Venruki, though, still has that Ice Block up in case he is pressured, so he can play very offensive if he wants. Both Câra and another getting so low. Zunniyaki has nothing right now. Tremor barely coming back up, but Câra isn't that deep. There goes the Spirit Link. All three members of the party are so low right now. Bring It looking so good in this second match.
Yeah, another at 186,000 HP. Hasn't been able to be topped. An Axe Toss on Zunniyaki. This is where they're going for the kill. He's at 55,000 HP. Can they live through this? They need this game. They're at 212 now. It looks like he should be fine, but
Oh,
a fear on Zunniyaki, maybe
no
not.
Tremor, no Tremor. Another barely getting that AMS back up. Wow, negates that Chaos Wave damage. That saved his life right there. But look at Zunniyaki in the deep. Lots of damage coming on to him right now. Barely living through that. Wow.
Nature's Guardian did proc for him. It's going to fade relatively shortly. Venruki in a little bit of trouble, man. He's actually just going to have to ice block.
Because Kollektiv is going to get some drinks off of this. It's really good. Zunniyaki, though, definitely can be the target as he does get feared on that heal. As look, he is starting to help his team out. Those very, very slow, long, mana-efficient heals being cast. Frost Orb just came back up, as that means Venruki is going to be able to do a bunch of damage, but he is down below right now. Of course, the Warrior on top of him. Another getting counterspelled right now, which means he can't use any of his defensive cooldowns. Down to 50,000 in a ring, 20,000 life. Zunniyaki has nothing for him right now. Here comes the Chaos Waves. Somehow he's living through this.
But will he? He's down to 6,000. Wow, and he will end up falling. We have Bring It at 2-0 right here at the finals. They need one more game. Snutz's curse looks like it's going to break tonight, man.
Oh boy, there we go. And that was the Dalaran Arena, and I think that it was in Bring It's favor map-wise. As you can see, Venruki, Kollektiv, and Snutz so happy about that win.
Yeah, man, and you know, damage-wise, another actually doubled his Warriors damage. He's just doing so much. He also doubled Venruki. It's just absolutely nuts how much pressure he's able to put, how much damage rather. And every single time Câra pops his cooldowns, he's got that Avatar, Recklessness, Deadly Calm, on you string it. It's, you know, someone's going to have to use something.
Now, it's really smart. Every single time that someone from Bring It was pressured, whether it was Snutz or Venruki, they slowly pushed forward. It was interesting to see because it made both Another and Câra kind of play back towards their healer, which allowed a lot of room for Kollektiv to land that Hex, which led to the death. It was a very long string of crowd control after that, and it was every time the Tremor was up, it had to be used on a single target fear. But of course that block was great because Venruki held on to it for so long as he used it at the one moment, once Kollektiv knew he could get a couple drinks off, and it was so much mana, and after that, it was extremely hard for them to come back from it.
Yeah, you ice block the Necrotic Strikes off, you're going to be good to go. He did it at a very safe health, too, to, you know, Câra was probably wondering, should I really risk shattering throw this and putting myself in the open, or should I just suck it up, run behind a pillar, get topped, stay safe? They need to win the next game, man.
All these little technical things that Another and Câra are doing, they need to just string them over and over and over. I loved the play at the beginning with that relentless grip buff where you can grip twice in a row due to the 4-piece. I loved that they pulled him once near the boxes, and then they pulled him a second time out of line of sight. However, he did have his demonic leap up and was able to get away. But
and out of range of port, too.
Absolutely.
That's the scariest part as a Warlock. I play Warlock myself. If I'm gripped away from port, I'm just like, well, I'll see you guys next game because I'm dead.
Yeah, but Snutz able to live through that situation, knowing where his port was, knowing exactly where the range to cast it was needed.
You know, Demonic Leap, it's actually kind of overlooked. Not a lot of Warlocks think about it. It's such a good ability on every single map. There isn't a single map I wouldn't like to have that on.
It's why anytime that you see Horde, even though Will of the Forsaken is so good, I remember so many shamans playing Goblin to use that rocket jump. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's great.
Except nowadays with Deep Freeze being so scary, that's why you see everyone swapping over to Orc.
Yep.
It means that you can't be put, someone casts a Frost Bomb into a Deep Freeze and then have it explode with them using all their globals on Ice Lances. Now it means that it will expire before the Frost Bomb. That's why you're seeing so many Orcs this tournament.
All right, so let's see what we got right now. Bring it up 2-0.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Snutz, Venruki, and Kollektiv. They had the biggest smiles on their face. You can actually still see Venruki a little bit next to your right shoulder. He's focused. They're ready.
So now this is interesting since it is taking a little while. Maybe we'll see another swap back onto that Frost Mage. The one thing that he did, I like the relentless assault by both the Warrior and the DK. It's always, that TSG comp has always been good at that, right from the start. You can train healers, you can train casters, you can do so many different things because at the start you're uncrowd controllable basically when you have that Warrior and that Death Knight. But another was doing a great job. Every time he was playing Frost Mage, he was shutting down offensive pushes left and right all tournament.
I mean, he's a great player, man. He knows when the burst is coming, and he knows what he has to do to stop it. Counterspell one, deep the other, palm ring a third. You know what? Is there a pet right there? I don't want to hit my teammate. Let me just throw a little frost on it, you know? He's really good, and I may or may not have slash shoot 90 right now and seen him on a mage.
Oh, I called it.
You called it. You know it's good.
Oh, absolutely. So, but this is because this is desperation at this point. Did not work. I mean, they forced some early cooldowns out of Kollektiv in that fight, which was good, and that's what they're looking to do. They had nothing to follow it up with because every time that they went to push deep, Zunniyaki was always afraid of getting crowd controlled because when they played that zone where Kollektiv is going to be behind the boxes on his side, Zunniyaki is going to be on the boxes on the other side. When those damage dealers, the melee, pushed in, Snutz and Venruki just pushed forward so that either they could get the crowd control onto Zunniyaki or they could stop him if he went to push up for any sort of help for his team.
Yeah,
it was great.
You cannot let him get into his zone. That is a really bad idea. You need to... I'm trying to think, what can they do as WMS, Warrior, Mage, Shaman, to pressure this Mage Lock Shaman? I mean, you're basically swapping the Warlock for the Warrior. Warrior is a more popular class on the ladder right now. It's doing a little bit better than Demonology Warlocks. But when you combine, I mean, it's a definition of synergy, I guess.
It definitely is.
Which is what makes it work so much. All the instant CC coming from the Warlock. You have the instant Fear, the instant Pet Stun, the instant Howl of Terror. You can't stop that CC, and it lets Venruki, our Mage, CC out of that, whether it's a casted poly or a palm poly or a palm ring or a deep. Everything's instant.
And then having that 25% Mortal Strike healing debuff on top of everything else just helps so much because when that Shaman has to heal two different targets where that healing debuff is on, he's going to fall so far behind, and that's what's happened over and over.
This very well may be the last game of this entire tournament, of this entire months and months of this in the making, man. That's Venruki, Snutz, and Kollektiv on the bottom.
Look at that.
Closest to furthest, and that was another Zunniyaki and Câra, I believe, in that order.
Absolutely. And of course, what a fitting map to possibly decide what's going on. The Grand Arena, Bring It versus Yaspresents. So many well-known names. Not sure if you could stack it even more, but look at this. Okay, so not only are we going to have some class swaps, we're going to have some faction swaps. This is going to be a Horde versus Horde final. We have Venruki, who is going to be playing that Orc Mage. We're going to have Kollektiv on the Orc Shaman, Snutz on the Orc Warlock. Against, of course, it is going to be Yaspresents, the team from Europe, Zunniyaki playing that Orc Shaman.
I like the way he just cried.
Oh, absolutely.
Man. He's worried.
Yeah.
Câra, man. That guy's good.
Yep.
He's a
playing
crowd
for the
pleaser,
crowd,
man.
he definitely is. Okay, they are going to swap onto it. I like that they are going double Orc for their healer and their warrior, and of course another needing to play that Undead Mage, so he's going to be able to break the fears cast by Snutz and going to be able to provide some crowd control. This is going to be a little bit different match, of course. Not going to be as fast for the team of Yaspresents. So let's see what happens. We're going to follow Venruki out of the start. Nope. Let's switch over, and there we go, Venruki. There we go. Snutz is actually going to get his Demonic Gateway off. The Warrior is going to start onto Venruki right now, who barely doesn't even have his Ice Barrier pop. There it goes. Now it's going to fade off of it as Venruki is looking to get that Encounter's Ward back up. We see a charge on to Kollektiv right there, who has a lot of action nearby. That Capacitor Totem going down. So Câra trying to get away deep onto Zunniyaki right now. Câra at half as Zunniyaki with a follow-up ring on top of him. Câra still down to half as he's going to have to use Die by the Sword with a Spell Reflection. Oh no, so many cooldowns used by Câra with a Trinket on another. Look at that Frost Bomb and with
they have to use Shield Wall before Dark Soul. Câra might die right here. He's at 65,000. He gets picked back up. This is not looking good. As soon as Snutz pops his Dark Soul, they're going to have to pull something out of their hat in order to survive, man. This is not looking good for Yaspresents. Bring It may very well take home the championship right here in the next few seconds. Snutz has used his Chaos Waves.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Dark Soul.
Zunniyaki still has his Trinket up. He still has Link. Oh, now here comes a half duration deep right there. Câra popping everything right now, knowing that they have to win and look at the damage onto Venruki. Câra not able to bring him down, so he's going to have to switch on to Snutz, who ports away instantly. Water Elemental being the target, and that Water Elemental is going to go down so fast. Nope, he's able to pull it back with lots of heals.
Yeah, here we go, man. Now everything's down for our warrior.
Oh,
he won't be able to scare them.
No offensive, no defensive cooldowns whatsoever left for him. Venruki, knowing that he can push into the open at this point, trying to get some damage out on it. He's got a lot of cooldowns left too, so he's going to have a little while on his block right there. On his palm. But we see another getting safeguarded too, as he's going to try to cast as many Frost Bombs. There we go. Nope. And trying to fake it. Wow. Followed by a Hex right there, so that's taking